You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bachelorette After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bachelorette After Show.
Cathy Kelley is enjoying this way too much. Hey everybody, welcome to Bachelorette Extra Large. That's right, for you Magic Mike fans. Yes, I tied it all in, Cathy. What's up, AfterBuzz TV Nation? With 27 million weekly downloads, listened to in over 100 different countries, we're your one-stop, one destination for true after-show entertainment. Correction, it is The Bachelorette Season 10, Episode 2. I'm JC, and of course, the lovely lady to my left.
Hey, I'm Cathy Kelley.
And we are joined by, once again, a great Bachelor alum, Bachelor Pad alum, and happened to just come back from Michael Stagliano's wedding this week.
I did.
Graham Bunn.
Thanks for having me.
Hands together, everybody. Thank you, Graham, for coming in.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us this late.
Oh, yeah, no, this is good.
I know, you flew in from Chicago. You're here. I mean...
Yeah, that's in. Let's get it going.
And
Memorial Day weekend. That's dedication.
Yeah, once again, take a moment to salute our troops and thank you for the wonderful liberties you give us every day. So, and of course... No show would be complete without Roya Tahiri.
Yes, you did it!
There you go.
I've known Roya for so long, and I always butcher your last name, but thank you for making our show work.
Hey, thank you for knowing my first name. That's all that matters, okay?
All right. Okay, so a lot to talk about tonight. So, and a lot of Cathy speaking tonight because Graham and I...
You're going to abstain from speaking about the naked men?
They were not naked, well, except for Nick the golfer, but we'll get into...
Banana hammocks.
Yes, banana hammocks and all, and of course the wonderful world of Craig, who we all thought was a favorite that would just stay, just because he was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, that song.
But let's get into it. Overall thoughts, what'd you guys think? You know, Graham, what do you think? So, I mean, put you on the, you know, this is your third time here, so you know how it goes.
Vet.
Thoughts of Andi, I mean... You know, now we went through the blitzkrieg of last week, and overall thoughts of the episode and Andi herself.
Well, you know, she obviously seems very composed. It's easy to say that she's beautiful, you know, and I think, you know, whoever styles her is doing a wonderful job. You know, got to give her kudos on the dresses selection tonight.
Showing off her assets.
Yeah, she's but in a classy way. But yeah, you know, I think she's composed. I think she handled herself pretty well tonight in an awkward situation. I would have liked to have seen her take it a little less serious, like just remove the problem and then not really blame everybody. I know she made the statement of, oh, you know, it's not your guys' fault. But I think she kind of hung on to it a little bit, you know, and some of those guys were like, well, I didn't do anything, you know.
There's a certain intensity. She is rather intense. This early, I know
a little type A? No, I don't think so.
No?
I mean, I think that she was probably on very little sleep, and she wanted to get the rose ceremony over with, and he was just delaying that process.
Okay. All right. She's going to trim the fat.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say, though, is we had a little bit of everything because you had two fantastic dates. I will say that, you know, the first and third, you know, the one-on-one dates were fantastic.
Yeah.
And cannot say enough about just how wonderful, you know, Eric is, you know, was.
That date could not have gone better. I wish, I think we talked about it during the show while we were watching, that they kept on saying, you know, this is such an amazing date. I loved the beach. I loved the snowboarding. I loved the cabin. I loved the s'mores. Everything was perfect. But they never really said, you're the perfect person to be on this date with. Like, that was never said, which I think was the only thing that was missing.
Yeah, I agree. You know, he obviously is an insanely interesting person.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, prayers go out to his family and his friends. And but I think he handled himself in a gentleman way. And I know he mentioned that he was, loved being there. And I know that she said, "Oh, well, I picked the right guy." But I'm with you. I don't think they stressed enough the chemistry that they had on the date made the date amazing. You know what I mean? Because that was a lot of time they spent together, and it can get stale. And I felt like the energy between them never faded in the scenes that we saw. And,
they seemed so comfortable. Like, Andi was just laying back, and I don't know, it just seemed...
Yeah, great
like
body language,
it
definitely.
It didn't seem like there were cameras there at all. Like, it seemed like they were having a legitimate first date.
There wasn't a better person suited for the first date, I think, besides Eric, because he's a man that's used to any situation, as we know. But I had a hard time watching it.
Oh, it was difficult watching it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you talk about it? Because the tragedy and
it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with him, and that's, I think, what makes it so hard, because he had such amazing life experiences, and he seems like such a good, genuine person. I mean, even what he said about family, and he's like, "Oh, well, I want kids. Like, I want 3 kids. Now I want that wife. Like, I'm finally ready for it, and I didn't think I was." And just explaining, that it was,
It's hard for us actually to really get through it, and definitely let's talk about the highlights and the good parts of it. And I mean, the beach and that is the perfect date for me as well. And Graham, you mentioned that as well.
Yeah, that was my first day was at the beach. So on the show. So I think it's also a testament of can you get along doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they seem to get along doing stuff that you can do on your own. Some of these times, and we talk about it and regurgitate it, but it's almost easy to have fun at this crazy concert with someone that you'll never see in a private setting. But you can always go to the beach with somebody. So if you can have fun doing that in that setting, I know some people are like, "Oh, I got gypped. I only went to the beach." I think it's much better litmus test for the compatibility between the two people. Of like, cool, let's go do something that isn't a bachelor date, and really have fun. And I think he was having an amazing time before the helicopter arrived. Now, granted, he got the helicopter ride, and it was let's amp it up a little bit. There, he passed. All right, land the helicopter. So and he was amazing. And again, prayers to his family and everyone that knew him, because he seemed to be an amazing guy.
Yeah. You actually know the pro snowboarder that was
That is true.
on this
That is
date.
true.
That's so random.
I was a little disappointed it wasn't Sinsag, but yeah, I do know that was sarcasm for anybody at home listening.
Yes.
But yeah, I know the pro snowboarder, and Louis is a great guy. So
that was a great little insight there, right there, man. For Bachelor super fans to catch that one with Jesse.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, oh yeah, Jesse, wow, what an amazing person that guy is.
No, but and not only that, but I remember one of our co-hosts we've had in the past always mentioned that one of the keys for this show is when they're on a date, when they teach each other something, a teaching moment. And when they went snowboarding, Andi said she had been boarding once and it was horrible. But the fact that Eric he taught her, he was teaching her, he was helping her, and made it seem easy. And those kind of things, those little bonds, those little details are what make people tend to fall in love with each other, I think. Yeah. It's a little something,
That's interesting coming from someone that's probably never been taught anything, because JC knows how to do everything. Interesting insight there.
You know what? Obviously, I do not know, because I failed to mention the fourth, our host, Danny Hoyt, couldn't make it this week, and definitely give him a quick shout out. He's out on his own global odyssey.
Laying on the beach, surfing, soaking up the sun.
Yeah, Danny.
Mexico. Sucks to be him.
What's the event? Well, I wondered. Are we allowed to know?
It's a friend's bachelor party.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Keeping in the theme.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and before I forget, also say hi to everyone who's watching us on YouTube. Our site is Royal. We've almost got it fixed, right?
Yep, it's almost there.
Okay, so yeah, stay patient with us, guys. You can catch all our stuff on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher. That will follow as well. So we do love your support, and let us know what you think. So let's get into.
Unless it's negative, keep that to yourself.
Yes, keep that. Thank you, Graham. Thank you. I'm dropping the ball on some of these. No, so I'm trying to think anything else that we found out. He said it was the perfect first date for him.
I just think that it's very endearing seeing Andi not be perfect at everything, because she's gorgeous, she's smart, and then it's kind of funny to see her fall on her butt when she's trying to learn how to snowboard. So it makes her more relatable. But then also, she seems genuinely intrigued in his life and his experiences, and that's something that, to have someone, she's accomplished so much, and to have someone who I feel like he would challenge her, that's someone who she kind of like that's the quality that she needs in a guy.
I was genuinely intrigued. I wanted more time with Eric.
Yeah. Definitely, if you get a chance, check out his stuff on the Global Odyssey.
I have to.
I've seen every single one of the videos, and it doesn't. And I said it last week, and it's going to sound like a broken record. It's just fascinating to learn about the guy.
Sure. Yeah. No, I definitely want to.
All right, so Graham and I are going to step away for a few minutes because we need to let Cathy take over here with the group date because let's bare BARE our souls.
Yes.
Graham, did you ever have to go through something like this? You kind of told us.
The closest thing, I guess, was the synchronized swimming. So we had to wear Speedos, but at least you were underwater, and I was in the back. Just like chilling. It was difficult to get through. I personally could not have done the group date. I would have had to get eliminated. Yeah. Or done something else. I mean, I have a pretty good record with charity work, and I'm like, listen, you're gonna have to just give it to me on the sleeve. I've really done my part here, so I'll just cheer.
Let's talk about what you do for charity work, though, because I feel like
no, let's just keep it on the show. But I would have pulled that card for sure. Like, listen, I'm into the several 0 digits marks for raising money for charity. I'm sitting this one out.
Yeah,
I would have pulled that card for sure.
All right, Kat, so we had Brian, Markel, Bradley, Craig, who was hopefully sober on that one, Brett, Patrick, Cody, Carl, Tassos, Josh, M, Ron, Marcus, Nick, and Dylan.
Can we talk about how Craig is more in like with Josh than he is with Andi at this point? He's like, oh, he's so perfect. He rips off his shirt and his abs are like, whoa.
Yeah, that was interesting. We love Craig.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what Bachelor in Paradise is going to be like, if it's going to be more like Bachelor Pat, if it's going to be something else, but if it's like Pat, please, can we have Craig?
Craig is amazing. Craig is amazing.
Quality television.
But I don't know. Cathy, I can't get through this one.
Okay, so I'll just go down the list real fast.
What did you like?
I thought, Marcus was definitely a good sport about everything. He was not the best dancer, but I feel like for the pressure that he had on him to do the solo dance, I thought that was
agreed.
He handled it very well, and she was clearly impressed.
Does it make him more endearing?
Yes.
100%.
Definitely.
I think if you go out there and you crush it, like, okay, that's not their first time, I think that's almost a negative.
Yeah.
I think, if you go out there and...
So Josh, who has been one of my favorites, he obviously very good looking tonight. He was a little bit too cocky, and it kind of was a turnoff because like he was the first one to, preview the dance for Andi and just gets right up all on her. And I don't know, I just feel like
he's the former pro baseball player from her neck of the woods, and
he said to not stereotype him, but he's kind of doing everything that just, I don't know.
Okay, so a little too much.
At least during this date. Later on, it was a little bit cuter.
I would have guessed he was an athlete for sure. Oh yeah, that guy, he's a pro athlete.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think anyone else. Well, the fact that Kelly and Charlene showed back up. Wish we could have had more time with from last season.
It was good to see them though.
Yeah.
Dylan, I think he was the one that gave a little bit of a lap dance to Chris Harrison. Chris Harrison slapped his butt. That was interesting.
Maybe he wants to be a future host. I don't know. Maybe
I can tell you 100% Chris Harrison did not enjoy that. I do know Chris a little bit. He gets paid
enough for it, though.
Yeah, but he didn't enjoy it. He did not enjoy it. Chris was pulling his hair out during that date. Oh, yeah.
And I will have to say, it's funny that you mentioned the shy ones they stood out a little more because there was Brian, the teacher, who was the very quiet guy, and the girls were, the teacher, who would have thunk it? And he said he did it for the kids. That was weird.
That was an incorrect choice of words. Very incorrect. I'm just glad he didn't have a mustache when he said it. Just keep it moving.
Cathy, get us out of this one.
How'd you get through that? I just thought of my kids. That's terrible.
So let's move on to the night portion, as I'm clearly flustered right now.
Yes.
So
the dress. There you go. That'll put you right back in it.
Can we get some music for JC right now?
The dress. Let's just talk about the dress for the night portion.
Thank you. Okay. No, she rivals Emily, I think. In
oh
dress
my gosh, yeah.
That dress was amazing.
Oh yeah.
She's drop dead gorgeous.
I'm biased. Michelle Money's dress from night one, her night one dress. I remember watching it being like, who is that?
Roya, we are not.
Music for JC to strip down. Just one button.
No.
One button.
No.
For the kids.
Ladies, we love the money
for
that
the
jingles,
kids.
but we prefer the money that folds. Dig deep. All right, so let's move on to Brett's from Coming to America. All right, so the second half of the date,
Yes.
and when I noticed something interesting. You know, Craig was started going a little bit off the deep end, but the voice of reason kept on being Tassels. I don't know if he kept on being. He's the one. I think we judged him quite a bit last week because he's a wedding planner.
Oh,
He's a very well put together man. You know, we were like, you know, and we gave him a hard time, but he's kind of like I don't want to say the alpha, one of the
He's
alphas.
the voice of reason.
Yeah.
He's got a good head on his shoulders.
Surprised. I was taken aback. So we're starting to see, you know, the personalities from these guys. Like Craig came out of his shell. I mean, not Craig. Brian.
Craig did come out of his shell as well.
He came out of his pants. He was definitely out there. But
Brian.
yes, back to Brian. And then, you know, Andi was very taken aback as well. So she noticed him. He's now on Andi's radar, the basketball coach. But I want to figure out where he got the shiner from.
Maybe he woke up with it.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. There you
It
go.
all ties
There you go.
Thank you, Cathy Kelley.
There you go.
Wow.
I thought he did a good job talking to her too when he was and he kind of revealed that he was nervous and it was vulnerable but still did a good job, and I felt like she related to that because she obviously had a similar scenario in her season. So, but I thought that the one-on-one time went really well for those two.
Yeah. I thought that Josh and Andi also had a really good post-date talk. She's obviously really into him.
Yeah, no, he was almost too good, I thought, as well.
It's slipping my
Yeah.
mind. Which one is Josh?
Josh
again?
is the athlete.
The
that we were
baseball
talking about
player.
before.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's definitely into Josh.
She's
she's
definitely into him.
100% into him.
Yeah, he charmed her. You could just tell. She said, "You're so confident," and Cathy, you're giving this face. What is?
He's too confident. Like, I mean, obviously, he's a very good-looking guy. He should be
Yeah, you've
confident.
said that 4 times.
But can you tell that? Yeah. Anyways, so
Would you say he's the best-looking guy on the show?
Besides Chris Harrison.
I would say tie between him and Eric. Honestly,
Which one is Eric?
Eric is the gentleman who passed
first
away.
guy.
Oh, yeah, Eric's the man. Okay, he
Yeah,
wins.
Eric's-
Okay,
Eric-
so Eric wins everything. But
Yes.
yeah, he's the man.
Josh is a very attractive dude, but I think that amount of confidence, it would make me insecure because if he is a former athlete and is that confident and is that good looking, a lot of other girls are obviously going to be attracted to that, and who's to say that he's
Well, he hasn't,
the type.
dated in 5 years, so,
But, the last guy I dated hadn't dated in 5 years, and
How'd that end for you?
badly.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Why would they do that? Because he sounds similar from Georgia, from I believe it was it Ryan from Emily's season, the athlete Ryan. I believe.
Oh, Ryan Bowers.
Ryan Bowers.
He was a bad kind of confident.
Yeah, but would they do that again? Because he's from the South, former athlete. He's got the swagger.
A couple seasons
they
ago,
would?
yeah.
for sure they would.
Yeah.
Really?
And
Okay.
of course, if she's attracted to him, they would probably.
She already said that she dated athletes. She, that's kind of her deal.
And they would want to throw that into the mix, someone that could kind of rock her world. If he's the one, we saw the previews, if he's the one with the secret girlfriend.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he wasn't though. He
Oh, he
wasn't.
wasn't?
They showed
Okay.
who it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the guy was like, "I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to address this," and he kind of walked away. And
Okay.
it wasn't. It
have to-
wasn't the baseball player.
We'll have to watch the preview
It
again.
didn't look like that for a second.
But so would you have kicked Craig off, or was Andi justified for doing what she did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. She was justified.
So now we know we've discussed this. The producers loved it. Every season we have a couple of guys that they're going to keep on they make great TV. Why couldn't Craig stay?
I think that she was setting the precedent. If she had kept him around, since she got so upset that night on the date about him, jumping into the pool and stuff, I think that people would let more things like that slide. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and also I think his behavior kind of bled into other guys' time. So I think it's distracting from why she's there. And then, one, just from a producing standpoint, I would imagine that you would want your audience to fully believe that, you know, the girl is committed to finding someone. So if you have someone there that's a distraction to the purpose of the show, you have to get rid of them.
Do you think they're overcompensating because of last season with Juan Pablo?
Oh, yeah, maybe for sure. And, you know, she obviously didn't have the greatest experience with that guy. So, you know, I think, you know, like Kelly said, or Cathy said, she just had to set the precedent of, all right, look, this is serious. I take this serious, and I don't want anyone thinking that this kind of behavior is going to go, you know, unpunished.
And since we focus so much on the train wreck, let's also talk about the fact that Marcus ended up getting the rose at the end.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something she really, really likes as well.
Well, he chimed in perfect timing. You know, like wasn't he the first one to speak to her after the debacle went down and kind of pulled her away and hit the reset button for her?
And over the seasons, that always plays very well. The gentleman I forget who did it. Was it for Emily's season or Desiree's season?
Both of them.
There was always a guy that would always sue the one who'd console her.
Yeah, but that's what you want in a partner, is someone who senses when you're upset, and they're the ones who, you know, whether they're able to fix it or not, they're by your side, you know?
It seemed a little very Marcus and Josh M heavy for me. So I'm still thinking it's too early, too soon, too early.
Yeah.
And we still haven't seen. I think there's someone lurking still.
A dark horse.
Yeah.
There's 100% somebody lurking. Like, they might not even be there yet. They might show up mid-season or something.
Okay, yeah, because they've spent so much time on both these guys, I think.
Crispy is coming back.
Yes. I don't know if you caught that, yes.
I'm unfortunately will admit that I did not catch it, but I wish that I had.
For Crispy. So let's, I guess, move on to, once again, keeping to the great dates. Chris, the farmer from Iowa.
Yeah.
The Matthew McConaughey. We put a side by side last week because he and Matthew McConaughey they got the same thing going on.
They're brothers from another mother.
But what did we think about? Oh, Cathy, you ready to go?
He is so gosh darn genuine.
He is.
He couldn't even curse. He had to say "darn it." You love him.
So cute.
Yeah, I love the guy. I think he's the man. I don't think he's going to end up with her, but I mean, he's obviously a super sweet and genuine person. You know, I think that he'll be around for a while just because I think he bleeds good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that it only bodes well for him. But also the fact that we gushed so much about Andi's dress the night before, but I thought she looked just as smashing in the 40s glam.
No. She looked amazing, but the black dress, no, I'm sorry. She looked amazing in the green, but the black dress
Which
was a
black dress?
stopper.
The long sleeve black dress?
No.
Or
the night before.
Yeah.
Let's see what. Yeah, it had long sleeves. I know you weren't looking at the sleeves,
Right, it's sleeves.
but the night before it had long sleeves.
I don't think it has sleeves.
It did.
See, now we're overcompensating for the mandate.
I know.
So.
Magic Mike portion.
But she
of the
did.
date.
She looked obviously. I mean, she's gorgeous, so she's gonna look gorgeous. But yeah, she looked great in the green dress, but it paled in comparison.
So you
to
guys
the black dress.
you guys are saying no already
What?
on Chris?
I feel
don't know.
yeah, I feel no.
I just want to say I'm wearing the same shoes.
You
as
are
Andi
wearing the
was in
same
it.
shoes.
I'm not
yes.
going to lift up my leg because that would be unladylike, but
This is the third time now in the last 2 seasons that you and Andi have matched, right?
I mean, we wore red on the same day.
We wore the red smashing dress for the dance number that we did. We recreated a scene. You missed it, Graham. I mean, you should have watched it. Then you can watch it on YouTube. Okay.
I will check it out. Was Danny involved in it?
No, it was just us that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
Just the two of us.
yes.
So Chris, I think that he's so genuine, and I loved how much she opened up tonight. But yeah, I don't see the chemistry between them. I think that she knows that he's a good guy and she's gonna keep him around. But I don't see, even though they kissed, it didn't seem like it seemed like they pecked a couple times and then she turned her cheek to look at the band so she didn't have to keep kissing him.
Do you think she might want someone with a little touch of mystery? Because she's a stunning woman, and and Chris is he's all in already. You know it. We know.
Right.
Everyone knows it. And she might want a little bit more, not per se a challenge or a chase, but
There's got to be something enticing about it. I
Yes.
mean, when
Yeah.
you know, you get the full meal. You're like, okay. But yeah, it's hard to say anything negative about the guy because he just comes off so genuine. But I didn't like we've already said, I just didn't see the chemistry, like the when you're in such an emotional place, like everything is heightened. So if they're not really kissing, they're just kind of kissing, then it's a big sign.
No, I heard from past bachelors, they talked about that they've been kind of coaxed to perhaps maybe kiss someone they might not be completely into to the very end.
I think she liked
sure.
him. I think she liked him enough to kiss him. What?
No, I'm just thinking about Deanna kissing Sean for my season, and I know if she was coaxed.
So it does happen,
Yeah.
see?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Dee. And Sean. I'm sorry.
Bring up
Cathy.
bad memories. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Is how much you love Chris.
He's a good guy. I feel bad for him because I know Iowa and the dating situation there, and most people, the way that they meet their significant other that they're going to marry is in college. And it's kind of like if you don't meet them in college, nothing
You don't meet 'em.
like, yeah, because there's so few people there. It sounds weird. Like, I lived in Des Moines, which is the biggest city in Iowa, and there are only a handful of single people your age. Eligible people. And for the most part, like, all of my friends there at 23, they were married and thinking about having kids. So
Okay.
I think at his age, it's very hard to meet someone unless they've either been divorced or, moved from somewhere else, which is not too likely.
So doesn't that speak even more, volumes about him, the fact that he had that failed engagement, that he actually called it off?
Oh, yeah.
Not to say that he can't go somewhere, meet someone somewhere else, but
Yeah.
I mean, and Andi really appreciated that moment. I mean, maybe we just don't know yet. What if there's more to Chris every week that we find out? Chris Harrison called him one of the top 5 to watch as well.
Okay.
So Graham's like, no.
I could see him being the next Bachelor, potentially.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Wow, so we were calling it now.
I think so. I don't see it working out with them, but I do see him either becoming the next Bachelor or, some girl will, fall in love with him on TV and then fly to Iowa to meet him.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I guess quickly, and once again, he also did get a rose, so no surprises there. And let's move on to cocktails and roses.
All right.
Anything stand out? Basically, Nick V, who played a great
That was
move.
so cute.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's one of the best moves I've ever seen at a cocktail party.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, that was cool.
I wonder if he thought about it while he was just sitting there for 2 days and didn't get a date, or this is something that he thought of before going on the show, or someone thought of it for him, and I don't know.
Let's just give him credit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
Good move.
Yeah.
Smooth move.
That was awesome.
He's doing well. Last
Good
week,
for him.
he got the first impression rose as well.
Yeah.
So, hey, he's surprising. Maybe she likes those.
Maybe that's a dark horse.
Yeah, because we never give him a chance in hell. We're like, oh, he gets lost in the shuffle because
I forget about him.
all the other guys are such big personalities, but this guy is kind of just.
Yeah.
He's cool, and we've seen previews of him, so he does get in an altercation with one, like a verbal one, but so there is more to him that it's just too early to find
Yeah.
anything out. Right now, we're speculating on everything.
Sure. Well, I thought that was just a really cool thing to do. It's difficult to be original when the show's been on so long. There's been so many contestants, so I thought that was really cool. The date, I'd never seen someone recreate a date card. That was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That was nice. Overall, I'm thinking Markel. We were too busy checking out what he was wearing because he had so many patterns going on. He had
He was doing it up. He was doing it up. He was doing it big.
It's still smooth, and but once again, Josh M. Okay, so guys, he's too good. He's too good. What
He's a
about
little
here?
drunk.
He was rambling. He was nervous,
He said like at least 40 times.
but he was
In one
nervous.
sentence. I
Doesn't
know.
that make him a little endearing?
Yeah, I
at
just
least?
can't tell if he's actually nervous or he's playing it for the cameras. That's what.
Cynical bunch, you two, because Graham is like nodding.
I'm
away.
just smiling. I'm just smiling because I don't want to judge, But yeah, I mean, I feel like she's into him way more than anyone else at this point, and I feel like he knows it, and he's definitely doing and saying the right things.
Well, let's make it how about we just make this the AfterBuzz question of the week? Is Josh
In it for the right reasons?
Yes, that's it. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, I totally think I don't think he's there for the wrong reasons, but I would say that he knows the stereotype on him. He probably he knows he's a good-looking dude. He knows that she's gonna he was a former, so he's gonna play it as I'm nervous, because players aren't nervous, so he's gonna do what she needs him to present, like, oh no, I'm not like everybody else, and. So I give him credit, and he's obviously a good-looking dude, and she's into him, and they were making out on the group day. That's always a good sign for him.
Yeah, come on.
They made out at the rose ceremony.
The
rose ceremony, yeah.
Later,
cocktails, yeah.
But it's a group of people, like it's not a one-on-one thing. Yeah,
wanted to, like she was the one that,
yeah. So he's doing well. I'll give him credit.
He now needs to lay back a little bit, maybe.
I would 100% say just now let her have her space. Don't crowd her, because he's already. It can only get worse if he's suffering her.
Have her find a way back to him. So
yeah.
Anyone else that stood out, and brother in the NFL as well. So he's used to this to the limelight.
Yeah, he's gonna be just fine. He's gonna be just fine, regardless.
Any final thoughts before we move to the roses? Anyone stood out? Let's see. I'm trying to think. Anyone we covered everyone.
Tassos was much more shy this week. I wrote that down.
Really?
Yeah.
We went from the voice of reason to shy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Moves a mile
around her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just fucking.
I didn't see much.
It's too early.
I didn't see much interaction with Tassos.
Yeah.
It's too early. It's too early. So let's move on to the final roses. Let's see. Of course, we have Eric, Marcus, and Chris getting a rose. But move on to Ron, who we didn't get anything from Ron, the gentleman from Barbados, and Into the Weekend, and Drake, and we have Dylan, who was dancing in front of Chris Harrison. Any thoughts? JJ, the Pantspreneur.
Oh yeah, the Pantspreneur. That's great.
Brent got a rose. Let's talk about the people that didn't get roses.
Yes.
So, golfer, what's his name? Nick
S.
First, I completely forgot to mention that he was a robot stripper, which I thought was hilarious. But we saw this during the show, and we talked about it, is Andi didn't yell at him for jumping in the pool as well. And I wanted to see more of a fallout, or not, I don't want to see a fallout, but I felt like we were going to see her justify, hey, had you not done that, you would have probably still been here. True.
I knew he was soon to follow, though. He seemed like
he instigated it almost.
100%.
Because he was the one. He was in his swimming trunks.
Yeah. And they're still on the date. I just that was a little rude.
Okay, but he already had his swim trunks already, so he brought them with him. I'm sure they all had him with him, and he just started he just started the party early and.
Yeah, it's one thing if she kind of leads the way and says, "Hey, let's all jump in the hot tub or let's get in the pool," because it's her place, right?
Yeah.
That's where she lives. So to just kind of make yourself at home and just be like, all right, that's assuming a lot. And I just, with the way Craig was at that moment in time, I just thought that was a horrible move on both their parts.
Yeah.
Okay. So we lost Craig, Carl, but Carl didn't do anything. Maybe that's why he got sent home.
No. He seemed shocked by it though, and
that's
almost
the firefighter.
in denial. Yeah.
I felt bad for him, man. He genuinely was upset, and that was tough to watch.
And he played a fireman in the fireman date as well, and he got sent home. Now he's gonna get grief by his fire buddies, and
he's definitely getting grief.
He had all to lose in this poor guy, man.
Brutal.
So I just noticed that she's very serious. She got rid of the goofballs, and she's in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
All right. So final thoughts. Thoughts on the episode?
It was good.
Yeah, I think she's definitely made a great first impression for how she's handling herself and what she's looking for, whatnot. And I think it's easy to say that about any of the Bachelorettes because they do such a good job of asking the right questions and getting them to open up about why they're there. But just the way she's interacted with the people that I've watched, I've firmly believed that she's genuine in everything she says, and she comes off very genuine. So I enjoy it when she's on the screen.
Anywhere to the guys, this bunch of guys.
Don't ask what's the worst thing about your parents.
Oh yeah, we did not address that, but that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Let's get to know each other. What's the worst thing about your parents? that is great.
And that moment brought to you by Craig.
Oh, I love Craig, man. Ratings gold.
All right, so wrapping up. So before we move on to any news and gossip, anything, well, since it's been a while since we've had you.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 months.
Oh yeah, I was just here. I was just here.
No, so tell us about the wedding, man.
Oh yeah, so
Mike
Stagliano, much love to him, and he tied the knot this weekend, and I flew out Wednesday for his bachelor party and stayed the week in Chicago with him, and he is currently on his way to Fiji on his honeymoon.
Fancy.
So he's in a good space. It was an amazing wedding. His wife is amazing, beautiful. It was great.
Fantastic.
Deanna was there. That was kind of cool to see
A lot
her.
of Bachelor alum,
Yep.
right?
Kipton was there. William Holman, who is one of my closest friends on the show, and he's the best.
How is William? Man, I love his tweets. He's hilarious.
He's great. William is the best. I love that kid. And who else was there? Ed showed up for the reception because I think he lives in Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't get to speak to him very much, but he was there, which was nice. And yeah.
I just had an amazing thought. What would happen if we had Ed and Craig in the same room?
That would be great. That'd be great.
I think the room, hide the boat. No, it would just be a great party.
Yeah, you have to move the show to later in the night, no matter what time it aired, but it'd be good.
And what have you been up to? Anything? Because I know you're always working. You got stuff going on.
Yeah, my business partner in the clothing company, he and I are actually launching a new company for chains and necklaces. We're going to do a motivational necklace in the next few months. So we've been working on that, just researching stuff. We're going to make all the pieces ourselves mostly. So that's been exciting and cool.
Congrats.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's been great.
Yeah, because you always give back.
Yeah, I mean, this one is going to be more motivational and just like inspiring. Like some of the things that we've been working on, we constantly talk about what 4-6 can do, or what, and that was another thing. When I went to Mike's wedding, this was probably one of the nicest things that's ever happened to me. The family that we helped raise money to adopt a child, we did a concert to adopt a special needs child 2 years ago. And big shout out to Alexander DeLeon and the Cab for playing the show for free. We paid their airfare, and they had everyone come out, and they filled up Webster Hall because they've got such a great following. And they just dropped a new album, so if anybody wants to check it out, check it out. But yeah, the family was actually at the wedding, and they brought the child. So I drove to meet the orphan, who's severely autistic, but just an amazing kid, and is in a loving family, loving home, and in a very safe environment. He was #2 on the at-risk list when we helped get him over here, and he's doing well. He's healthy, and he's in a place where he's going to have a very good life. And it was beyond amazing. I was tearing up. I met with the parents again, and it's the first time I had met. His name is Ryan, and it was just one of the best moments of my life. It was great.
With all the great things that you do, I mean, I'm sure we've asked this before, but just is it because of The Bachelor that did it help? Did it assist you in raising?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I got to give a lot of love to the show, and it gives you a platform. I started my company before I did the show, and so I had it for almost a year before I'd done the show, and I was very involved in the volunteers program. It's actually Disney's. They fund it in New York, so we painted several schools and built playgrounds and stuff, and volunteering and stuff has always been something that I've tried to do. But yeah, the show has allowed me to do it on such a grander scale. So I would never be able to do the things that I've done without it, and I'm super grateful that have been at sometimes considered a fan favorite and stuff like that, and being able to do multiple shows and been able, the producers have always been very kind to me, and yeah, so it's been great. I can't thank the show enough for what it's done for me, and
Nice. And the site is 46nyc.com?
Yeah.
All right,
so
46nyc.com.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out, folks. Spend some time on it for sure. So let's move on to, do you got any news and gossip for us this week?
Yeah, a little bit.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Sounds like a lot of it.
So, no, condensing it this week. Of course, Bachelor Wedding with Michael Stagg. We already talked about that. Next week, they announced it. 2-night show. So episode 3 will air Sunday night, and then episode 4 will air Monday night at the regular time. So make sure to set your DVRs accordingly, or watch it then. And then what else?
Oh, I got one.
Yes.
JJ Pants.
JJ Pants.
Yeah, I call him JJ Pants, the Pantsapreneur.
Okay.
Not his first foray into reality TV per se.
I saw that.
You saw that.
He was on CBS's The Price is Right, which is actually hilarious.
That makes him cool in my eyes.
I know.
That is cool.
I know.
That is cool.
I was excited about that. I want to go on that show. That just looks awesome.
Let's get AfterBuzzers and just go.
I want to. Okay, so this is just a little thing. I want to get a dog when I'm older and can afford having a dog and give it a good home. But I want to name him Bob Barker, because I feel like that would be the best dog name
Dogs
ever.
with 2 names are the best.
But
Mr.
Barker.
Bojangles, Kenny
Barker.
Rogers. Dogs with 2 names are very cool. Bob Barker,
Yeah.
Alex Trebek, all of those.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, two name dogs are amazing.
Okay, and we're
Chris Harrison? No.
No, true story. Cathy Kelley.
Okay.
And I don't know if Graham will get this one though. I wanted a Boston Terrier, and I wanted to name him Kevin before I met our founder, Kevin Undergaro.
Oh my God.
True story. Okay. Way off subject.
funny.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Emily Maynard talked about Crispy being on the show last week.
Oh, no.
And she just, did not have the nicest things to say about him. But yeah, she did talk about that. It's on Wet Paint. And then last thing, I forgot to mention this last week, but Cassandra Fergie from Cassandra Ferguson from Juan Pablo season actually got engaged to her baby daddy.
Oh, Rodney
a
Stuckey.
couple weeks ago. Yeah, so that's
I love Rodney Stuckey.
Yeah.
incredible.
He's the man.
But yeah, so they're back together, and he proposed, and they look like they're having the best time.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
And I think, hold on, there's last. Oh, yeah. So the final piece of news is that Josh M's brother got signed to the Kansas City Chiefs a few days ago. So
Nice.
he is officially in the NFL.
Oh,
Very
there we
cool.
go.
Very
Very
cool.
cool. News in 2 minutes or less with Cathy Kelley. All right, so let's move on to predictions. What time is it? Like 2 in the morning?
Your
No, it's not that
AfterBuzz
bad.
TV.
Somewhere.
All right. Graham, since we can't have you every week, even though we'd like to.
Sure. You guys are so kind. You say it with such a straight face. It's amazing.
Son of a car salesman. Okay, so who are your standout? Who do you? Is it too early? Do you see?
No, yeah, it's
Do you see
definitely
her-
too early, but
Do you see her leaving with one man, as opposed
Yeah.
to 2 or 3? But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
do you see her giving away a final rose and
Yes.
sticking? Really?
yeah.
Who is that man?
Right now I would say Josh is top 3. For some reason, I don't feel like she's gonna end up going with him.
Okay.
He is getting a lot of airtime early. That's always sometimes the
Kiss of death.
kiss of death. Yeah. And then the Marcus guy. I think those two are at the front of the packet right now. And then there's going to be someone we're like, oh wow, he's really coming on. Like he's really stepping out of his shell.
I think that's someone who could be a dark horse, Nick V. Just the things that we've seen, the date card, the making up his own date card.
First impression rose.
But first impression rose, they always say that's the kiss of death.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's, instead of doing predict who's gonna win. Yeah. Who's our dark horse? Week 2.
I would say Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to go with my dark horse. I was going to say Bradley, but I'm not that crazy. I'm going to go with Tassos.
Oh my gosh. No.
No?
I see him going further, but
Just-
not that far. Bradley, it's okay. I feel like female opera singers are far more attractive than male opera singers.
I would agree. I would agree with that statement.
That's a third. All right, let's get out of here. So, once again, a big round of applause for Graham Bunn. Thank you for
Oh
coming.
yeah, no,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
having me,
much.
guys. I appreciate it.
And what I said earlier, you really are welcome every week. Okay, so Graham, where can everyone find you, buddy?
Just, you know, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, just my name, Graham Bunn, or 46NYC on all those things. But, you know.
Excellent. And Cathy?
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley and on Instagram at Cathy Kelley.
Nice. Any other shows you're doing as well?
I'm doing a ton of shows here at AfterBuzz. You could check out my own podcast, Chatting with Cathy. We have some cool guests coming up soon, so check that out.
And Roya Tahari?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at HeyRoya, and I got one more. Come on, JC.
No. We'll leave that for the after show. You can find me at JC Rubio TV on Instagram and Twitter. So for Roya, Graham, Cathy, I'm JC, and we're your Bachelor After Show. And stay tuned for Danny next week. We'll see you. Bye.
Oops.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.